Greek mythology is enriched with powerful gods, goddesses, and even demigods of different sizes and forms. These gods were categorized into 3 generations: primordial, Titans, and Olympians, and were said to be shapeshifters, turning into any gender, weight, accent, height, or race as they preferred. It is said that the true form of these gods could not be seen for long by mortals, because doing so could incinerate them. Knowing this, a question popped up in our heads. How would they fare against each other in size? Because after all, it wouldn't be the first time that these gods go up against each other. Let's find out. Starting with number 10, we have the bloodthirsty Ares himself, known as the god of war and the personification of the spirit of battle. The aspects of war he represents were not heroic nor honorable, but distasteful, like brutal bloodshed and slaughter. He was not much popular among the gods or humans due to his rather immoral attitude. He was about 6 foot 1 inches tall, a bit higher than an average Olympian, and most of his depictions show him wearing battle armor in which he waged wars. He has even fought with one of the most powerful contenders on our list. At number 9 is the hero Achilles. Standing at 10 feet tall, Achilles was the strongest warrior and hero in Greek mythology during the Trojan War. He was the son of Peleus, a Greek king, and Thetis, a sea nymph or goddess, thus making him a demigod. It is said that Thetis dipped Achilles in the water of the river Styx, making him invulnerable except for the part of his heel by which she held him. But in the end, he was killed by an arrow shot by the Trojan prince Paris, guided by Apollo to the vulnerable spot in his heel. At number 8, Alcyoneus. The traditional opponent of the hero Hercules, Alcyoneus, stood just shy of 13 feet. He is considered to be one leader of the giants and a sworn enemy of the Olympians. Born from the blood of the castrated Uranus and the primordial goddess of the earth, Gaia, he was immortal within the confines of his homeland, Isthmus of Thrace. But in the end, he got killed by Hercules after getting dragged away from his homeland. At number 7, Hercules. Famous for his incredible strength, courage, and intelligence, Hercules was the son of Zeus and the mortal Alcmena. One of the famous stories about Hercules is that Hera, the wife of Zeus, arranged for 2 snakes to be sent to kill Hercules when he was still a small child. This was because Hercules was born to Zeus's mistress, and Hera got jealous. Despite Hercules being a baby, he was too strong for the serpents and killed them both. He has even defeated Ares, Cerberus, and his traditional opponent, Alcyoneus. Number 6, we have the guard dog of the underworld, Cerberus. Also known as the monstrous dog of the underworld, his job was not to stop you from entering the gate of the underworld, but rather to never let you leave. Cerberus was 15 feet tall, even bigger than his master Hades, and was also referred to as the Hound of Hades. He is said to have 3 heads and the tail of a snake. Cerberus once brawled with a weaponless Hercules, but got defeated after he got squeezed around all of his 3 necks by him. Number 5, Gaia. The goddess of Earth and also known as the mother of all life. Gaia was about 20 feet tall and is depicted as a buxom, matronly woman rising from the earth, inseparable from her native element. Gaia is said to have 15 offspring, 12 of them Titans, and 3 of them Cyclops. Many of the offsprings of Gaia were born after some gods spilled their seed on the earth, like Irenaeus, Malia, and giants, who were born from the blood that fell upon the earth when Cronus castrated Uranus. Number 4, Polybotus. Polybotus was said to be one of the most powerful of all the giants. Some accounts say he was quite the sea monster at 30 meters long, with poisonous spikes on his back and all along his extended fishy tail. His head was a cavernous space filled with deadly sharp teeth, and he had large eyes that would glow underwater at night to terrify passers-by. He would even cause terrifying sea storms and hurricanes, so he was a huge threat to fishermen. Polybotus's great nemesis was the sea god Poseidon, and they chased one another across the sea in a theatrical display of violence. Eventually, Poseidon managed to trap Polybotus in a cave by throwing an island on top of him. There, Polybotus remained and was unable to cause any more harm. Number 3, Zeus. Zeus is known as the god of the sky in ancient Greek mythology, and also the ruler, protector, and father of all gods and humans. At a gorging 40 feet tall, he is depicted to have skin that glowed yellow and a muscular body. He was the child of Cronus and Rhea, the youngest of his siblings to be born, and he eventually killed his father, Cronus, by cutting him up and throwing him into a pit of Tartarus as Cronus tried to kill Zeus and his siblings. Along with this, as a reward for releasing them from Tartarus, the Cyclops gave Zeus the gift of lightning. Number 2. Poseidon. Poseidon was one of the 12 Olympians in ancient Greek religion and myth, the god of the sea, storms, earthquakes, and horses. In pre-Olympian Bronze Age Greece, he was venerated as a chief deity at Pylos in Thebes. He also had the cult title Earthshaker. He grew up to 224 feet at times and won't hesitate to send storms, floods, and earthquakes out to get you when someone made him mad. Poseidon was a brother of Zeus and of Hades, the god of the underworld. When the three brothers deposed their father, the kingdom of the sea was given to Poseidon. Honorable mentions. Before we get to number 1 in our list, Greek mythology deserves a few honorable mentions, like the fabulous monster of Crete that had the body of a man and the head of a bull. Minotaur was 7 feet tall, and his arms and legs were like something from the cover of a Muscle Man magazine, but most notably had the head of a bull. He was the offspring of Pasiphae, the wife of Minos, and a snow-white bull sent to Minos by the god Poseidon for sacrifice. And while we're talking about abnormal creatures, Typhon is one of them, the youngest son of Gaia and Tartarus, described as a grisly monster with 100 dragons' heads who was conquered and cast into the underworld by Zeus, standing at 2,000 feet tall, with enough power to level entire cities and send the big 3 Olympian gods to their knees. Typhon's appearance signals nothing but trouble. And finally, number 1 on our list, Cronus. Cronus was the son of Uranus and Gaia, being the youngest of the 12 titans. On the advice of his mother, he castrated his father with a harpy, thus separating heaven from earth. He stood a whopping 1,600 feet tall in some iterations, and his existence dates back to the first generations of the Titan era. Cronus held the position as the leader of the Titans, but fell into the same pit as his father and became fearful about his position on the throne to his children. His solution was to devour his children soon after Gaia birthed them. So although he sired the gods, Demeter, Hestia, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon by Rhea, he devoured them all as soon as they were born to prevent the prophecy. These Greek gods represent humanity at its best and worst, from the violent nature of some gods like Ares to a nurturing and loving nature of gods like Gaia. After all, no matter their size, these gods and goddesses have been one of the most influential deities in human history that continue to have an impact to this day. So share your thoughts as well, while we see you again in the next video. Goodbye!